I missed that many times. Hey YouTube, Chicken over here with the review of the Rider Hero Series 10, 11, and 12 Beast Hyper, otherwise known as Beast Drinker, Wizard Infinity style, and the White Wizard Shiroi Mahoutsukai. So a quick look at their little taggy things. Hyper Ring for 10, Beast Hyper, Infinity Ring for 11, Kamen Rider Wizard Infinity style. And EX with the change ring on there for the Shiroi Mahoutsukai. So, Beast I have an issue with because he came to me with some legs, or feet rather, that inched forward, and now he can't stand at all. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I was using him to swat at a mosquito at the beginning of this video, but you can bend it back a little bit and he will stand temporarily. As you can see, and he just kind of creeps forward like a creeper. But you can also just kind of dip him in a vat of boiling water and just kind of fix it and then let it cool, and it'll kind of stay that way. So that's a quick little remedy that I probably won't bother doing because it's just a vinyl figure and I don't really care. In terms of detail, he looks fairly nice, particularly from the waist up. He looks pretty detailed there. However, the driver is blue all around here, and it just looks very off. The belt isn't colored at all, which I think is a little bit of a problem in terms of trying to complete the suit. So while the chest area looks okay and the helmet looks alright, those lines aren't present, and that kind of makes his helmet look really plain, but not too huge of a deal. Considering the fact that you're only looking at about $8 figure, I can kind of forgive it. So, pretty neat overall. I just wish he would stand, and I wish it was a little bit better painted in some areas, but not too. He's a lost cause. Infinity, as you can see, has a little foot issue going on too. He kind of looks like me when I rolled my ankle, but I really like Wizard Infinity style. I didn't like his design at first, but the more I looked at it, the more I loved it. I liked all the little tiny details in him, like the dragon helmet and the fact that his head is just a glorified diamond ring. But very cool, and I fell in love with the suit, and it's my favorite of the Wizard forms now. But very cool overall. I just really wish that they could have used a silver in here. I hope he gets a movie theater release or some sort of premium release of some sort through a magazine or a DVD or something to give us a premium paint scheme on this so that you can get a nice Bandai silver paint covering the jacket, which I think looks very, very nice. Should we get it, you can kind of see the silver paint up through here. It would be nice to see it on the jacket because as it stands, it is just a kind of a flat gray, and it just doesn't contrast well with the bits of silver on there. It just kind of looks very plain. But other than that, the paint details are all right. Obviously, the driver isn't the best, and these rings aren't identifiable at all. But it's not too bad. The backs are never really painted, so you can't really fault Rider Hero Series toys on that. But overall, my favorite of the bunch, and I can't wait to check out the weapon figure arts of this guy. Gonna look very nice. And here we have the Shiroi Mahoutsukai, the White Wizard. Good old White Wizzles is weird, to say the least. Features the same articulation. You got this weird thing going on where his robe pieces are attached to his arms. And that's fine because it's a cheap figure and it's just made that way. But if you pose him in any way that isn't just a static, straight up pose, you get this weird thing going on with these little wings coming out of his arms. And it looks really goofy. But one thing I did forget to point out on these is the fact that they all have their rings. Beast Hyper's isn't painted, they're just white tumors on his hands. Infinity at least has the bit of paint there and a generic circle on his other arm. White Wizzles has generic circle on this arm and then an orange blob on that arm, so they get a little bit more than Beast did, of course. The White Wizard driver ends up being a big pile of black, which is alright. A little bit of silver would have been nice, but again, cheap figure. And overall, it's alright. I think the only issue I have is this general area looks very plain because it's just so much white. while his head looks a little bit squished. I don't know what it is exactly. His head just looks really fat for some reason. I'm not sure why, but something in that region is bothering me a lot. But regardless, these are great figures for kids if you're trying to get your kids into Toku where they like watching the show with you, and you want to get them a toy to represent it, but don't want to spend too much money. Like I said, these are only about $8 a piece, and you can get them cheaper through like secondary markets often, and they do go on sale quite a bit too. So for a price like that, you can't really beat it, especially, like I said, for kids or collectors on a budget. Just looking for a material version of the suit to represent something on your shelf next to your roleplay weapons or something like that. Absolutely great for that as well. And like I said, they are cheap, they are affordable, and everything that should come out usually does. So you always know you have your bases covered and you don't have to pay high exclusive prices or anything like that. So ignoring Beast drunkenness, I do have to say I hand it to Infinity for being the best of the bunch. I just really like the way he looks, I really do. So you can check out shugokunshomi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls. And of course, check out Riders, Rangers, and Rebels, a podcast bringing the latest Toku news in the craziest way possible. You can buy all three of these guys and more Kamen Rider Wizard merchandise at cstoysjapan.com. So take care and have a great one. Bye.